I recently attended BrickFair Virginia, and as I was shopping at the garage sale, I found this Lego set right here, the Taj Mahal, and I was able to pick it up for only $80, except there's a huge catch. So as I said, the set right here is the Lego Creator Taj Mahal set. This is the re-release version that came out in 2017. It's got 5,923 parts. I remember flipping through catalogs as a kid, looking at this set and thinking, man, I really want it, and now I've got it. And right now, the average 6-month price of this set being sold used is about 346 Canadian dollars, which is about 250 US dollars, and I paid just $80 for it. But like I said, there is a little bit of a catch. This set is incredibly dirty. I mean, not just little, slightly dirty. Like, really dirty. Like, looking at the set here, you can just see how incredibly dirty all of the base plates are. Yikes, look, there's dirt in the Lego logos. Oh, there's hair. Every single one is like that. Over here, there's so much dirt on this section, when you rub your finger, that literally comes off. That's disgusting. And every section is also like that. You can see where the top dome was right here. This one's still on, and oh my god. All of this is like broken up down here. Obviously this base is really bad. All the loose pieces there. And then we've just got bags of the set where parts have fallen apart and not been rebuilt. When I first saw this set at the garage sale, I was like, oof, that is in rough shape. As you can see, there's dirt all over it. It's like a layer of dirt, not just a little dirt, a layer of it. The guy who I bought it from did tell me that it was in his kitchen, and I have a feeling it's just got years of cooking oils and other things that happen in a kitchen and dust all kind of accumulated on it, but it doesn't look like there's any discoloration. So when he said that he was looking for this to go to a good home and looking for someone who wanted to take this set and make it a project, I was like, I could probably make it a project. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be difficult to do, but I don't think it's impossible. And it looks like everything is here. So basically, I figured it's a little bit of a gamble. For $80, I'm either going to get the deal of a lifetime, or I just wasted $80 and got 5,000 unusable Lego bricks. As I said, it's dirty, but it doesn't look discolored. It's going to take a lot of work and time, but I saved a lot of money. And I figured, hey, let's make a video of it right here. So I don't personally know exactly how this build process is gonna go. I know that I have a lot of sections of the build right here. In fact, I've got a whole bag full of more modules from this set. I don't know where any of them go. I've got part of the tower right here, another tower right here, and then just a bag of loose pieces. You can't even really see them because they're behind the modules here. But I also have the main structure right here, which is like mostly still assembled. I believe this is the top part of the build, and we've got some more towers on the side here and a very dirty structure that literally falls apart. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to obviously need to wash this. It's going to need a lot of washing, and I'm going to disassemble it, and then I'm going to rebuild it because I want to experience building this 6,000 Lego piece set myself. Okay, so step one of this is obviously disassemble, and I'm gonna do it in sections to try and make the rebuild process as easy as possible so it's not a complete disaster. I've gathered all the different components here, and I'm gonna get started. I'm not looking forward to touching all these pieces. Alright, so I've got my brick separator right here, and it's time to get to work. I'm gonna start with doing the base of the model right here, because I feel like that may just be a little bit easier. Oh my gosh, you guys, as I just like take everything off, I can feel the grease on my hands, and wow, you can like see the pieces prying off. It's crazy. This is insane. I hope the guy watching this isn't watching this video and feeling bad, because that's not my intention. Like, obviously, I don't think he's dirty or anything like that for how this set got, but just obviously this goes to show, like, when you store a set in the kitchen and all the cooking oils and stuff like that, this is what's gonna happen. Like, this is the bottom of the set. Very, very clean. And then, ooh, crazy. So first section of the set has been disassembled here. You guys can see so many parts here. All of the base plates are right here. And man, there's going to be a lot of things that I need to wash here. But the first thing to be washed are my hands, because they feel so gross. I already know this one is going to take me hours and hours to rebuild, just because there are so many different parts here. And obviously I'm not going to be building from the number bag, so this can be a challenge. Alright, now it's time to disassemble the rest of the parts here. Oh no, here we might have the very first signs of not just dirt and hair, but the very first signs of slight discoloration. Honestly, it's not too bad. You can see it's pretty similar to the other white pieces, but it is ever just so slightly discolored. But I have gone through, you know, a lot of parts so far, so if this is the only one that discolored, that's not terrible. Oh my god. So even though I haven't got to this section yet, I'm already a little worried because of the brown. I thought this might be brittle brown, which as you guys know is what we call the brown ABS plastic during a certain time period that is very brittle and breaks very easily. But I wasn't sure, so I was already dreading getting to this section. But as I am tearing apart the top section here, I realized that there are definitely already some brittle brown included here. I found a couple fragments of it already broken, so that sucks. Like these two 4x10 plates are already no good. So I'm hoping I don't have to replace too many parts here as well because, well, I don't want to, but damn, that sucks. Just finished disassembling the top part here, and now it's time to disassemble the base of the model. Guys, wish me luck with this brittle brown. All the brittle brown pieces have been removed from the top right here. I only had one additional sacrifice, and that's because I tried to use the brick separator on it, which wasn't very smart, but I've separated all of the pieces here because I'm going to wash them separately. When I do get a salad spinner, I don't want them to chip or break, so I'm going to wash them a lot more carefully, so they're going to go in this bin right here. And now that all those pieces are in this bin right here, I'm going to be able to continue with disassembling the rest of this build. And finally, the Taj Mahal here has been completely disassembled. There are no sections of it left. So now that means it is officially time to wash all of these pieces. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many parts are here. That's crazy. If you've watched any video in the past where I've washed Lego bricks, you would know that I normally do it in my bathroom and I just use a colander. However, Maticus Bricks told me that using a salad spinner was a really good way to both wash and dry your Lego bricks. So I'm gonna head to the store now and see if I can pick one up. All right, so I've just arrived to the Value Village here because the dollar store did not have a salad spinner, and after doing some digging through their home goods section, I found this one. It's pretty small, but it's only $4 and I think it'll work, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy it and hope for the best. Oh, and here we go. I actually cannot believe I have a salad spinner now for my Lego collection. Obviously the salad spinner is much smaller than all of the pieces here, so it's gonna take a lot of rinse and repeat literally to wash all these pieces, but I'm very excited. Let's head to my kitchen and do it. I am here in my kitchen now, which has been basically transformed into a place to wash my Lego set. On all of the counters here, I've just layered it with all of these bath towels because I'm going to start washing all of the bricks, and then I've got to lay them out so they can dry. So now it's officially time to bring some of the bricks in. And the first bin that we're going to start here today is the base of the model right here. So I'm going to grab my salad spinner. I'm going to grab the bin of bricks and I'm going to carry them out to the kitchen. Got to be very careful. Want to make sure I don't drop these. And then you guys have probably seen how I wash Lego before, but this is really kind of how I do it. So I guess it's a little bit of a different process this time because you can see I am now using a salad spinner, but what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take a few handfuls of the pieces here. Also, I'm going to make sure my drain is in so I don't lose any pieces if I accidentally drop them, but I'm going to take a few handfuls here, grab probably a few more. I have to say I think the biggest parts that I'm concerned about are like the base plate ones here, the ones that are really dirty, like hairy kind of thing. I'm going to see how they do in the salad spinner, and if I take them out and they're not as clean as I want them to be, I'll probably scrub them with a toothbrush or something. And then once I've got a good amount of pieces in there, I'm going to start filling it up with some warm water here. Not too warm, but warm enough that it'll actually take some of the dirt off the bricks. You can see some of the dirt is already starting to fall off. And then I'm also going to add some Dawn dish soap right here. Not too much. I think I put a little bit too much on, but I guess that's okay because these bricks are dirty. And then once it's decently full right here, I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on, and I'm going to start spinning the bricks around. I'll need both hands for this though. Then once I've done a few spins of it, I'll also just move the bricks up and down myself a little. And yeah, I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and grab a toothbrush because these ones are not coming out as clean as I want them to, but the other bricks are looking better. I've got my toothbrush here and let's do some scrubbing. Oh yeah, you can really see the difference here. And then once I've given the bricks a couple spins, I go ahead and give them a rinse here just to get any soap residue off. And then once all the water is off, this is where the salad spinner comes in really handy again. I'm going to give it a few more spins to try and get the bricks as dry as possible. You can see it really helps get a bunch more of the water off that normally would just sit on the brick. So I'll probably do that one more time. And then when that's done, I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to start dumping them out, spread them out nicely here, and just let them all air dry for a few more days. So now I've done this process once, but not only do I have the rest of this bin to do, but I'll also have to do all of these ones as well. So the work is really just getting started. And I am going to set all the plates off to the side for right now and scrub them all at the end because there's still a bunch more I need to do. So all the parts from the base here are officially washed, except for obviously they all need to get scrubbed by this toothbrush. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly do that now. I'm going to do the exact same process I did with the other parts just to get kind of like a pre-wash. But then, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and scrub each of them one by one. One round of scrubbing made them better, but they're still not perfect. So now it's time for the most tedious process, scrubbing them all individually. There, that looks so much better. And then with washing Lego plates, the best practice is to leave them face up, just because if you bundle them together, they may not dry. So I'm going to leave them all spread right here, and it should be good. Also, though, just look at how disgusting this toothbrush is. Ugh. So now that all of the parts from the base are washed here, and all of the base plates are scrubbed, and they're very nice actually, like I think I did a pretty good job on them, it is of course now time to wash all of the other parts here. And this is going to take a pretty long time because a lot of these bins have a lot of different parts, especially the main model right here, the center part. So I'm going to be repeating the salad spinner process a lot just because obviously all these bricks aren't going to fit in at once. So wish me luck. So I finished washing all of the parts from the sides and the top right here. You guys may remember this is where the base plates were. I've actually put the base plates over here in a bowl of warm water with some soap just because when I touched them they were still a little bit greasier than I would, you know, like to build with. So I figured I would just soak them for a little bit and see if I can get any additional grease off. And then the only parts from the last section I just washed that I haven't actually finished yet are these parts right here. You can see they are just really gross and grimy. These ones, when I put them through the first spin, didn't really come clean, so they're going to need to be scrubbed themselves. So I'm going to give them one more wash here and then scrub them with the toothbrush before putting them with these parts right here. And now all these parts are officially washed right here, so it's time to move to the top portion of the model. These ones are really dirty, so they may require a lot of scrubbing. And now the top section of this model is also washed right here, so you can see my whole kitchen right now is full of Lego parts. I still have to re-scrub these base plates here, wash this huge bin of all the parts from the middle section of the model, and scrub all of these base plates right here. So we're not quite done yet, but I've been quite happy with how fast the progress has been going. So now all the pieces from the main section of the model have been washed here. They are all laying here to dry, which is great, which means it is finally time to start the rebuild process. This is the base part right here, so because I don't really need these pieces to be fully dry before I start the rebuild process, I think I can go ahead and scoop these into a bin and go back to the Lego room and finally start building. And now it's time to get started on the actual build of the model. So I've got all of the pieces right here, I've got all of the base plates, and of course I have the instruction manual here as well. It's supposed to start off with bag 1, but obviously you can see there are no bags here anymore, so we are just going to have to get right into it, and it's going to be a little bit of a longer process to build it, but don't worry you guys, I will be filming it for my speed build channel. So bag 1 of the set is done here. Bag 1 technically, although everything's just in a pile of parts, bag 1 did build these two sections of the model. So we've got this first one right here with the jut out part, and then this one is the more straight part. Unfortunately, as I'm building this, I've realized that some of the parts just didn't get as clean as I would have liked, honestly. I thought this salad spinner would have done a better job, but it appears that for some of these parts, I should have either pre-scrubbed them here. Like you can see this 1x4 plate right here, like it doesn't even look like it's been cleaned. So I either apparently should have pre-scrubbed some of these parts or should go back and re-scrub them. So I've got a cloth here that I've been scraping off some of the grime on it, and then I might go through with a toothbrush again and just some water and just dislodge anything else after it's finished building. But yeah, that's a little disappointing. I guess I missed a few things right here. Majority of the parts are pretty clean. I wish all of them would have been that clean. So I just finished building bag number 2 technically. So I built these two identical models. It takes about 20 some minutes per module here. So I built the first one and then got to the end and I was like, no way I have to build 2. So I had to go back and completely build a second one, but that is technically bag 2 finished like I mentioned, and these are all the parts left for bag number 3 that we are now going to finish up building, and then the base of the Taj Mahal will be complete. I just finished building this section right here, which means there's actually only one section, this exact one, I have to duplicate it, left to build of all these parts, and then the base plate is officially complete. Sweet, I just finished the final section of the base of the Taj Mahal right here. Of course, that is in addition to all the bases that I've already built this evening. evening. And these are all the parts that are left over. These must be from later in the build or something like that. They obviously just got put in the wrong section. And in fact, quite a few of the pieces actually from this part of the module that I needed were in the next box. So I actually had to go to the kitchen and grab that here. So all those parts are down there. Like I said, I had to fish a couple of them out, and I will be putting these ones down in this bin. So far from my personal collection, I've only needed to grab a total of 4 pieces, and that was, 5 pieces, because it was 4 of these 1x1 studs and 1 of these corner pieces right here. So far, this build is mostly complete. So obviously still a lot more building left to do, but if the whole set is like this, then I should have a complete Taj Mahal. This is so embarrassing to admit, but this took me 5 minutes to assemble all these together. I could just not, the instructions are not clear, you guys, on how that's done. So it took me forever to do it, but I did it. If you watch the speed build, you guys will be like, what the heck is this guy doing? I also realized I built a section wrong, so had to quickly just fix that, but it was a very easy fix. But now we've got the base of the Taj Mahal. Oh my gosh, this is the first time I've ever seen it assembled, because when I bought this at BrickFair, it was not assembled, and this thing is ginormous. It is massive. I don't know where the heck this is going to go in my LEGO room, but I am very excited to have it. Working on building the second box right now. This is technically bag 4. I built the very first tower here. It is one of 4 I need to build. It took me about 8 minutes to do so, but it should be a little faster now by the time I get all 4 of them done. All 4 towers of the model are officially complete here, which is exciting. I do have all of these parts left over because I thought these were, I guess these are from this upper part, this right here, like the roof or something like that. But as you can see, it looks like we're actually starting on building the base, like the middle portion of the model. You can see a bunch of them are right here, so that is pretty exciting, which is going to be scary because this is definitely the bin that's over there with the most amount of Lego in it. So I'm going to set all these pieces to the side and I'm going to get to work on that. Oh boy, this is a lot of pieces. Oh my god, this section is going to take me like 7 hours. I already know it. It's going to take so long to build. So we got the first of the 4 modules done right here. This took me half an hour to make just this one module, and you guys can see there are a ton of other parts here, so this is gonna be a while. I said this is gonna take a lot of hours, and I don't think I'll be wrong. The second module done here, another half an hour of building down, and you guys can see a whole lot more to go. So I've just finished now building all 4 of these sections right here. 4 absolutely identical sections. It actually took me longer to build this last one right here, just because you're left with less pieces. So like, because I was building this one, it was probably the fastest because all the pieces were right there. And then as I started using the pieces up, I started realizing more and more were missing or hard to find. So I know they're just buried in all of these different pieces here, but yeah, that one I would say took a little bit longer. And now it's time to get started on the other section right here. Again, it looks like I'm gonna have to build 4 more of these identical sections. So I've gone ahead and finished building the very first section right here. This one here actually only took about 16 minutes to do. Was quite a bit simpler, I would say, than these ones, just in terms of like the build techniques and stuff like that. So it shouldn't take much longer now before I get the remaining 3 of these all complete. It's also saved me a ton of time, the fact that I left all of these still assembled, because if I had to reassemble all of these little 1x1 studs, oh, my fingers would have been sore. Second corner module has been built here. The third module is done right here, and I'm getting faster. This one took me only 15 minutes. Module number 4 is now complete. There we have it. I think I have pretty much the entire base of the model done now. You can actually assemble them all together, which I will do shortly, and then I've got all of these pieces here, and I think that's what puts the roof on. I've added the roof now and completely assembled the base of the Taj Mahal. This thing looks pretty epic. And there we have it. The roof is now on here as well. This model is looking so good now. I'm down to my second last bin of Lego here. And check it out, the base is now officially done. Well, except for the top part. I will add that very soon. All of those pieces are obviously right here, but you can see all the different detail here, which is pretty amazing. This time I had to grab a few more parts from my personal collection. Like I was missing a bunch of the cylinders here and a couple other random pieces. They could very well be in here. I just didn't want to spend the time to look for them, but so far I've been doing pretty good and haven't really been missing too many pieces from this model. This next step is actually one of the only areas where I'm going to have to substitute parts. So you can see they required a couple of these brown plates right here, but if you recall from earlier, oh, it's hidden by now, but if you recall from earlier, those plates actually got broken in the disassembly process. So I'm going to have to do some makeshift ones because I don't actually have those ones, and I don't want to order them on BrickLink and hold up the build. Whoa, check it out, you guys. The top of the Taj Mahal is officially complete right now. This part alone took me a couple hours to build, but like, look at how cool this is. Oh my gosh. And you know what that means? It is time to finally assemble everything here together. I am so excited to be putting this build together now. This has obviously been a set that I've wanted for many, many years, and I never really thought I would acquire it. So when I found it in Virginia, I was super excited, and I knew that I would want to add it obviously to my collection. Even though it was in really rough shape, I had a lot of vision for it, and I hoped that it would be successful. Yes, it was a lot of work to get it to this point where I could be here with the entire thing disassembled and then washed and completely rebuilt. It was not easy, and it was many, many hours of work, but I do have to say I do think it was incredibly worth it. I'm gonna set the middle part in. Wow, I've never actually seen it fully assembled, because even when I bought it at BrickFair, it was already disassembled and like beyond repair. So this is the first time I've ever seen it all together. Now I'm just gonna put the top on right here. Whoa, wow, you guys, I did it. Whoa, whoa, there we go, you guys. This thing is incredible. It is like the size of my table here. It is absolutely beautiful. Wow. You guys, I cannot believe I was able to complete this set. The fact that I got it for just $80 is wild. You now saw the full process I went through of disassembling this set, cleaning all of the bricks, spending a lot of time washing them, and then of course building the final set. Like you saw throughout the build process, there were very few pieces that were actually missing from this model. A lot of them were very basic ones that I had in my collection. I will not need to order anything. The only two parts that were really missing were two of those brown plates that broke, and I just didn't have those because they break all the time. So I used a couple alternate brown plates instead that made it all work together. But yeah, this was a project. The guy told me when I bought this is gonna be a project. You are gonna have to spend a lot of time and energy to kind of restoring it into its original beauty, and he was completely right. I don't know how many hours that I invested in this. The build alone was over 8 hours, which is wild, and I think I spent like 2 to 3 hours trying to disassemble it and probably another hour or two washing it. So it was a process. It wasn't something I just quickly did overnight. It wasn't like opening up a brand new Lego set, building it in 6 hours and calling it a day. This one, it took a while, but it was so worth it. When I look at it now, all nice and cleaned up, I can't even believe it was the same set as it once was. It is wild how good of a job I was able to do to clean this up and make it look presentable. I'm excited that the parts are in really good condition. You know, they were dirty, so it was really hard to tell. I couldn't really see if it was yellowed or not, but it is not yellowed. It is in great condition, and man, I'm excited to have added this set to my Lego collection. Of course, if you guys do want to check out the speed build of this model, you can definitely do so. It will be on my speed build channel on Thursday. Make sure you check it out. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. It was a lot of fun to build, but like I said, you guys, I am so excited that I was able to find this set for $80 and put it back together and restore it, and it looks really nice. So my next big thing now is, where the heck is this gonna go? I have no idea where it's gonna go here in my Lego room, because the Lego room is already jam-packed as it is, and this is a monstrosity set. It like takes up the full table, so it's pretty wild, but I am really, really excited about it because this is such a good model, and I'm so happy to have added it to my collection, and this was a really fun project to embark on, of restoring this set and making it presentable again. So thank you guys so much for tuning in with me throughout this video, and of course all the short forms that I posted on every other social media platform as well. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I will be sure to see you all here in the next video.